So I have been busy reworking my budget and it has completely changed my path towards early retirement. This year I am doing something massive. I have put my house on the market and this is going to free up £600 a month, and this money is going straight into my investments. Welcome to Freedom Kitty. My name's Catherine and today I'm going to walk you through my exact UK income and expenditure real budget, and I'm going to be comparing my current expenditure in my current house to my future expenditure once I have sold the house, and how it is impacting the amount I can put into my investments. And this is going to help me reach financial freedom much faster. As I'm going through my budget, leave me a comment below. Let me know if you've got any questions or comments and I will make a future video on them. So let's dive in. So here is my income and expenses tracker for 2026. At the moment, I'm just going to show you my budget because I haven't completed this yet because the time isn't 2026 yet, but I'm just showing you what my projections are for next year. And I'm going to be sharing this in British pounds. I'm also going to be doing a comparison between where I'm living now in my current house and my new house. And I'm going to be showing you some of the very small tweaks that will make a massive difference to how much I can save every single month. So I'm just going to break down every single thing on my budget so you can see how much I spend and how much I earn every single month. So at the top of this tracker, I've got the income streams. Now, thankfully, I have a job. Well, I've been offered a job. I haven't started yet. I will do a different video on this in the future, but I'm so excited that I have been offered a job. So now I know how much I will be earning. I can put this into the salary column because before that I didn't have a salary. So now I do, and it's just above minimum wage, not a huge amount, £1,686. I have 2 extra rows here for salary from my business, which I used to pay myself a regular salary from my business. For the last 15 years, I've been working on my business, and I have also got something called a director's loan, which is where my business bought the business from myself as a person. So that enables me to take money out of the business to pay back myself because it was worth a lot of money then. It's not now. So I'm struggling to even get any money out of the business at the moment. It's pretty much breaking even, but I've got this row in here in case I do make a profit, in case I do pay myself any salary or dividends, I can put it in here, but I'm not going to allocate any because it's not guaranteed and it hasn't been looking good lately. So there's no point in trying to rely on this in a budget. So I'm actually very happy I've got a stable job because now I can actually budget properly, which is amazing. I can budget and I can save. I also get child benefit for 2 children, £172 a month. I am expected to get £273 from child maintenance. I've recently got divorced after going through the divorce for about 2 years. So the agreement that we came out with was that from the start of 2026, I would be paying half of the mortgage and he would be paying child maintenance. So I've yet to receive any. We'll see how that goes. I'm not sure if this will materialize. He keeps changing jobs, so we'll see how that goes. And this is also a guess because I didn't actually know how much he was currently making because he's changed his jobs a few times. My current partner pays half of the bills, so he gives me £750 every month, and I pay for all the bills and the food shopping. I've got bank interests in here. I've got a small amount of savings, but due to the interest rates that I'm getting about £14 a month interest, which is pretty good. And this all totals up to £2,897 total income. So not a huge amount. And this is living expenses for 4 people, 2 adults and 2 children. So now let's move on to the fixed expenditure. So from January 2026 until the house sells, I will be paying £750, half of the mortgage. We currently live in a brand new 4-bedroom house in a nice area. The council tax rate is £220 a month, and I'm currently paying all of that. Water is round about £50. We don't pay anything towards boiler cover because the house is new, so it's currently under warranty. The average gas and electric I pay is about £150 per month, £15 towards TV licence, £50 for a package of TV and Sky. That's my partner's choice. I don't really watch very much TV. I never watch the Sky. Den plan, I pay £26 a month. This is private dental cover. And people might be thinking, well, if you're on pretty much minimum wage, why are you paying for private dental cover? And the reason is because when I was younger, I probably didn't look after my teeth. Also had a lot of damage done. I had some accidents, fell off my bike, smashed my teeth. I've got implants, all kinds of work going on, and my teeth, I've got loads of fillings, crowns, implants, etc. So every time a filling comes out, this den plan covers me. It not only covers me hygienists every 3 months, dental checkups every 6 months. It gives me white fillings, it covers my crowns, pretty much everything that is non-cosmetic it covers. It does not cover implants. But I think that's a pretty good deal. It actually saves me money. Gym membership. I do actually use my gym. I use it regularly. So this is a good investment in terms of my health because I don't feel like I could work on my strength in the same ways that I could do at the gym. There is no cheap gyms here. There's only 2 in the town. They're pretty much the same price. £31 a month. My mobile phone. I am not on a kind of contract where you pay for a phone as part of the contract. I buy my phones outright, second-hand, reconditioned, although I've had a bit of a nightmare with those recently, so don't get me started on those. But I just pay for one of these rolling contracts, £6. I can cancel at any time, unlimited calls and unlimited texts, enough data for what I use, £6 a month. You can't go wrong with that. Window cleaner at the moment, £11.82 because we're trying to sell the house. We want to keep this looking nice. Pocket money, £23 approximately per child. This is the maximum amount that they can earn, and they earn their pocket money. So sometimes it's less, but often it's £23. Now, we've done the fixed expenditure, the expenditure that stays pretty much fixed every single month. Now let's move on to the variable expenditure that can change. First of all, I've got a budget for food shopping, £600 a month. This is for 4 people for every single meal. We don't eat lunches out of the house. We take our lunches with us. We take all our meals with us. £600 pretty much covers it. The last few months I've managed to get my budget around about £500, so this can vary. So who knows, I might be able to reduce this in the future. Car fuel. Approximately £100 is what I need to put in my car every month. I pay myself a personal budget of £50. This is like pocket money for me. This is money that I can spend on whatever I want. Clothes, makeup, jewellery, whatever I choose to spend. It's not a great deal, £50. But a lot of months I don't spend anything. I actually hate shopping. So when I do my shopping, I tend to get everything in one go because I really don't want to do it any longer than necessary. And this is guilt-free spending. I don't need to worry about spending on myself because I've got a budget for it. I've also got an entertainment budget of £100. This is anything that could possibly entertain you. So things like eating out, drinks out of the house, going to pubs, bars, going for coffees, having an ice cream, walking along the beach, paying for parking for day trips. Even if you're renting a movie out in the house, this is all entertainment. £100 a month isn't very much, doesn't really cover eating out. Probably I could eat out once and that would blow the budget. So I try not to eat out on this very small budget. Next is a children's budget. For clothing, equipment and clubs, it's £111.50 a month. Very random figure, but this is an average of everything I spent over the last year, so it's very accurate. Now I've got a health and personal care budget of £20 a month. This is for things like shampoo and supplements. Now I've got a haircut budget. My son has regular haircuts and I get my hair dyed about once a month. Yes, it is a luxury, but it's a luxury that I want to spend money on because I started going grey when I was in my 20s, and now, age 46, I'm pretty much all grey and I'm not ready to go grey. I used to dye my hair at home once a week because I couldn't stand the grey, and it was pretty much the same price as what I pay a hairdresser, so I pay a hairdresser. Now I'm going to move on to my sinking fund. A sinking fund is a fund that you pay money into every single month. So it's your money. You've got a little savings pot, usually stored in a separate account, and you pay this money in every single month. You've budgeted out how much it costs for your annual subscriptions, things that you tend to only buy once or twice a year. So these are things that can really surprise people if they don't think about them logically. They're not really surprises, but a lot of people will forget about them, and then it comes to the time of year, like all my car bills are due in the summer at the same time as my kids' birthdays are in June and July, at the same time as holidays. So for me, the summer months go absolutely crazy with spending. So if I don't put money aside for this spending, then this can really, really break the budget. I just basically wouldn't be able to afford it. So I have to be sensible. So this is the money that I put away every single month. And this is how much I put away every month. I put away £3.25 for TV subscriptions. I pay for Channel 4 subscription because that's what I watch the most personally, £39 a month. I also put the same away for my home insurance. It was £39 this year. So that's how much that costs a month. My car is owned outright. I bought it second hand. I intend to do that in the future to save money. I don't want to have debt. I don't have any debt. I don't like debt. I don't want to pay the interest charges for a new car or a car on finance. So instead, what we need to do is put money away because cars depreciate. They go downhill, eventually they will die a death, and if you don't have a pot of money, you won't be able to buy a new car outright. So I'm currently saving £90 a month and hoping that I'll have about £5,000 in about 5 years, hopefully trading in the value of whatever's left of my car at that time. £16.25 a month for car tax, £28 a month for car insurance. I lost all my no claims after the split. He kept the no claims, which was actually mine, but he switched it to his name, so I was left with no claims, so that's why mine's more expensive now. £40 for car MOT and service. Car repairs, I put away £25 a month. Birthdays, mainly for my kids, but also other people, £32 a month. And Christmas budget, how much I spent this year was approximately £30 a month. Holidays. Although I'm not really planning on any expensive holidays, what my plan is in the future is I plan to buy a camper van and use that for holidays. The camper van is going to be the accommodation and the travel. So it's going to be a massive saving in terms of holidays. I'm not going to go on any expensive foreign holidays, but even when you go away somewhere locally and all that's paid for, you're still probably going to want some extra treats, some meals out, ice creams, that kind of thing. It's still going to be much more expensive than it would do normally, especially for 4 people. So I'm just budgeting £50 a month for that. Then I've got a pot of money for putting into my emergency fund. And I also call this my miscellaneous fund. I track my miscellaneous spending every single month, and it's round about £200 a month. This is stuff that I didn't plan to spend. A lot of this is replacing things in the house, buying things for the house. It's not budgeted for, and you can't really predict it. So although I have been spending £200 a month, currently I'm putting in £50 a month. I'm in a new house. Not much is going wrong, thankfully, and this will change in my next house, which I'll show you in a minute. Now let's move on to the exciting things, investments. I have never had a pension before, and I'm going to do a separate video on this as well, but I recently opened my very first pension, age 46. I am so excited about it. I set up a direct debit for £100 a month into a SIP. So currently I'm paying £100 a month. Not going to make much of a dent in my retirement fund, but it makes me feel really good and it's exciting, and I can watch it rise and fall and go through all the emotions. Even though I've only got a small amount of money in the pot at the moment, I can educate myself as to what it feels like to have a pension. And then at the bottom we've got some summaries. So I have got my total expenditure before savings and investments. So currently I'm spending £2,397, but if you take into account the sinking fund, which you really need to because that is an essential spending every single month, then that expenditure is £2,765. So this is all the basics, the bare minimum needed to survive. £2,765 is what it's currently costing me to run a household for 4 people. But if you include my little pension in that as well, then the total amount is £2,865 is what I'm spending with that extra £100 going into pension. My income is £2,897 a month. My outgoings are £2,865 with pretty much no surplus. That's the whole point of a budget, is to balance it and allocate it to certain things. If you end up with hundreds of pounds left in a surplus, it'll do something different to the state of your mind. You'll think, oh, I can just spend that on whatever I want, and you'll end up spending more than you've allocated. Whereas it's better to allocate it to a particular budget and be strict about sticking to that budget. So now you can see my current house income and expenditure. I'm going to show you what's different with my new house. So when I started this channel, I had no job, no savings, no pension, and no hope of retiring early with that situation. But I really want to retire early. I want to retire in my 50s. So I have to do something drastic. And the most drastic thing that anybody can do is to change their housing situation. Housing is the thing that sucks up most of your income. I could try and stay in this expensive house that I'm currently living in with a humongous mortgage that would cost me a fortune every single month and continue to have no savings and no investment and still not have a hope of retiring early. So instead of that, this is what my plan is, I'm going to buy a much cheaper house. The current house is worth about 360,000, might get less, who knows. The house I want to buy is 180,000. There's a mortgage on this current place. Some money is coming to me, some money is going to my ex, and some money is going to the bank after the house is sold. The money that is coming to me, what I would like to do is I would like to take some of it and put it down as a deposit. My partner will do the same thing. Then we'll get out a small mortgage for round about 60,000. And the rest of the money will go into investments so that I can hopefully retire early on the investments because I don't have a pension. So once I've moved into that new house, hopefully I will be able to find a house that costs 180 grand. There are actually loads in my town. It'll probably be a 3-bed terraced house, a very, very old one. I will also put more money into savings because I will have a bigger emergency fund and a pot of money that will be towards house repairs, replacements and upgrading, because I'm imagining that some things will need immediate upgrading when I move into this very old house, probably a house that's built in the 1900s. So I'm going to put some money into savings and this will give me more bank interest, probably around about £58 a month. So my income will be slightly higher but didn't really make much of a dent. The thing that makes the biggest dent is my mortgage. It will go from £750 to round about £196. Only time will tell because I don't have the mortgage or the house yet, but this is my plan. Also, because I'm going from a 4-bed expensive new house, the council tax will reduce, hopefully down to a band C. I think I'm currently in a band E, so it'll be a reduction from £220 to £155 a month. Everything else is pretty much going to stay the same, apart from I will probably get some home care for boiler cover in case the boiler breaks, because it'll probably be old. Variable expenses are going to be exactly the same. I've made a change to the sinking fund. Instead of saving £50 a month towards miscellaneous emergency fund, I'm going to put in £200 because I have tended to spend that on emergencies. I'm hoping to reduce it, but life just happens, as we all know. So that has increased. Now, the most exciting thing is that it's freed up a lot of money, and I'll get back to investments in a minute because I just want to show you how much the totals have changed. So let's look at the total expenditure before investments. It's gone down from £2,765 a month to £2,294 a month, which is a massive saving, which means that I can now put more money into investments. So instead of only being able to put £100 into investments, I can now put £300 into my SIP, private pension, £300 into a stocks and shares ISA, £600 a month into stocks and shares, and this makes a much bigger difference in terms of being able to retire early because I'm investing 6 times the amount that I'm currently able to. So that is going to make a world of difference. And I'll show you my other spreadsheets in a separate video as to how I have calculated that I can retire early based on saving this amount of money. But basically it's down to housing. It's down to living in a much, much, much cheaper house and having a very tiny mortgage. So this is very exciting, and I really hope that my plan comes to fruition. And next year I am going to do monthly updates. I'm going to show you how much I am receiving and spending every single month, and showing you if I am actually able to stick to this budget. This budget is realistic because I have been tracking my finances for 10 years. So I think it's pretty realistic, but I've never moved into an old house that I'm responsible for all the upkeep. Well, I did actually a very long time ago, and I know that crazy things happen that can really set you back. So time will tell. This spreadsheet also logs the total so far this year, the average per month, your annual budget, and how much you've got left of your annual budget, so you can see whether you're on track or completely off track every single month. Let me know if you've got any comments. How does this compare to your budget? Where have you made savings? I would love for you to tell me where I can make savings, or have I helped you to also make savings? Because I want us to all help each other. So if you could just leave me a comment, that would be so much appreciated. Have an amazing day.